If you've been having a really nice week, feeling great, ready to go and read the latest One Piece chapter to keep up the good vibes, you're in luck because this chapter had false fathers, children diseased, ready to die, mums dying, tears, slavery, you name it. This chapter had it all. Not to mention an art style which not only made me feel concerned for the characters that were in this chapter, but also concerned for the mangaka himself. I really sincerely hope that Oda is okay, judging by the way in which he rushed, like he could not finish the art for this chapter. I know there's going to be a break in the next coming week, so I hope everything is okay. But, like, for the sake of the characters, I hope they're okay. Because looking at what Kuma has had to go through, and that we know that it's going to end up with him essentially sacrificing his own being to protect those he loves, essentially becoming just like a shell of himself, a robot for the world government, is insane. Every character in this needs to be protected at all costs because they're just so wholesome. Like, I mean, except for the celestial dragons, they're just absolute scumbags. Taking Ginny, just like, you know, impregnating her with their sick, twisted disease that turns them into like, you know, the scale, the blue scale disease, whatever that is. That's something we'll go into a bit further as well. But this chapter just had everybody in here going through the worst of it. And then you have Bonney, just so wholesome, so carefree. Little does she know that she only has, like, until becoming 10 years old, until she dies. Which, later on, we found out as well that in the current story, she is 12 years old. So, not only is there despair for the characters in this, not only is there worry in regards to Oda as a mangaka, is his health okay? But also, everybody around the world that was reading these chapters that Oda had drawn with his experimental art style, with the camera just, you know, below, like, you know, from behind, just a bit below. Bonney is 12 years old. There's a lot to sink in there. Of course, I was not one of those people looking at that type of art style. I just saw what was on the page. Regardless, there was a lot to unpack with this chapter, and a lot of thoughts and emotions going into this. So let's go and try and break this all down. So Kuma isn't the father. Maury Povich stepped in and said, "You are not the father. The test results are in." Shocking. Shocking news. But also, let's just be real here. Kuma is the father in all of our hearts, right? In Bonnie's heart, in everyone's heart. You don't have to go and be the biological father to be a father, okay? Let's just go and get that out of the way. Clear as day, okay? But he is not the biological father. So who is the baby daddy? Who is the daddy? Apparently, it's a celestial dragon. Now, based on what we have seen in this chapter, after Ginny was captured for 2 years, becoming essentially a slave to the celestial dragons as a wife, was impregnated with Bonney. And Bonney and Ginny mysteriously have this disease, the scale disease. And look, putting 2 and 2 together, I'm not a doctor, but just basing on the symptoms from what I've seen, it looks like they got it from the celestial dragon. And because they wear the spacesuits and they protect themselves from the outside world, it seems, because they're scared little babies, little fragile little babies. Considering that this disease gets spread with sunlight and moonlight, it's safe to say that they wear these spacesuits because they do in fact have this disease, and it does get spread with sunlight and moonlight, and that these weird looking spacesuits protect them from this, okay? So let's just get that out of the way, that she has contracted the weirdest disease ever. And it's tragic. It honestly is tragic. Like, why did this happen? Why did this have to happen to Ginny. Like, Ginny was so wholesome. She was so great. Honestly, like, Kuma fumbled the ball big time, like not marrying her right away. Now, I know man is like going through the emotions, right? He's going through it all. He's found out about his lineage, you know, with the Buccaneers. He's found out about that, right? And through his parents, just like the hardships they went through because of his blood. Kuma's a real one, all right? Kuma's a real one. But he should have snagged that. He should have just buckled down, said, you know what? I'm going to make a change. I'm going to go and do better. And I'm not going to be dictated by my blood. I'm going to be my own person, and I'm going to go and you know, and really snag Ginny, and become the best dad possible. Now, he succeeded in that. Even though it's not biological, he is the best dad. But yeah, just Ginny did not deserve that, honestly. That was so bad to go and see. And in an extension of that, seeing Bonney be the same way as well. A lot of questions have been posed with this now, knowing that Bonney has this disease, and explaining what exactly it all means. You see it growing from her face right where the piece of jewelry is, and we find out that Jewelry Bonney is to do with the jewels, which amazing. Really amazing. Really keen to see what the exact explanation is for all of this. And look, after these chapters, right, I can hear the comments. I can see them online. The slander for Dragon is real more than ever. I am going to stand here and look, I'm going to be defending Dragon, okay? I am on Dragon's side in this, right? It may be because my Dragon agenda is strong. It may be because every time there's a chapter reaction, I hop on here talking about we're getting to chapter 1100, Dragon's going to appear, all right? I may have gone on the Reverie talking about my bingo card is that Dragon's going to arrive, okay? It may be a lot of those things. I have a heavy investment in Dragon stocks, okay? All these chapters aren't doing Dragon any favors because we're seeing Kuma's point of view. And of course, Kuma's point of view is going to paint him in such an amazing light. He's gone through the hardships. He's gone through the struggles. He's saved lives, okay? We haven't gone to Dragon's point of view yet. The time when we get to Dragon's point of view, we're going to see his hardships. We're going to see his struggles. We're going to see him save lives. At this point in time, it is really unnecessary and unrealistic just to go and flat out have a perspective and outcome that judges Dragon's whole agenda and character just completely. Let's just wait and see if chapter 1100 comes around and Dragon doesn't appear and redeem himself, then look, I'll eat my words, okay? But even if it's not chapter 1100, I want to see what happens with Dragon to then make a full-fledged opinion and to hear people's perspectives who say that they don't agree with Dragon and that he's a fraud, okay? But let me just be totally clear. That's where I sit. That's where I stand. Now it looks like we're getting into the next chapter where we are going to go and see Kuma's just eventual demise into becoming this shell of himself, this robot. If you thought like the bad vibes were over, think again, because they're going to keep going. But it looks like we're going to be able to go and see what exactly is the answer to this, the blue scale, the sapphire scale disease, and how Bonney was able to go and just revert its effects for this point in time. And also that her life expectancy was to 10 years, but the maths that's in this dictates that she is 12 years old, so she has passed her expiry date. And also how this is all going to just unfold going into present day, where you have Bonney right now in front of Saturn, who has taken, like, you know, the sword straight to Saturn. What exactly is going to be the outcome, knowing that Bonney's expiry date is past? Is this going to be the end of Bonney as we know it? Or is there going to be something else relating to Bonney and the Celestial Dragon that is her biological father coming soon? So I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts in regards to Kuma's, just how he handled everything with Ginny? Do you think he went and fumbled the ball? Who do you think is the biological father? to Bonney. And what are your thoughts when it comes to Dragon? Do you think Dragon is a fraud? Do you agree with my opinion that you think that he's going to appear in chapter 1100 with his big debut? All of your thoughts, let me know in the comment section down below. Be sure to go and like this video and subscribe for more weekly content. I hope you have an awesome day. Take care, and I'll see you all on the next one.